Unpopular opinion alert, your DEIB efforts and why you're not gaining traction with those in your organization is it actually costs money. So my name is Brittany, and what I want to talk to you about this week is inclusivity in the workplace, and I want to bring the real, the raw, and the messy, especially on a topic like this. So whenever you think about DEIB in the workplace, the first question that you want to ask is, what resources do I have allocated for this? What portion of the budget do I actually have to execute this? Because here's what I found throughout my 16 years in corporate, running people, running HR teams, is that so many organizations love the lip service when it comes to these efforts. We all saw this, especially since 2020. Every single organization out there loved to plaster something on their website. They love to name someone a chief diversity officer. And guess what? Most of those initiatives failed. And the reason is they didn't put their money where their mouth is. So the very first thing when it comes to inclusivity and actually building a workplace that's radically different from what many of us have experienced is you have to have the dollars in place to do just that. Okay, so the first step is actually determining, like we said, what kind of budget that you have. And so many of us go into these conversations and we believe that so many people think the way we do. Like, in this day and age, how can you not give a shit about inclusivity? Guess what? Most people don't. And here's why. It's actually much easier to hire in a team of people and have an entire organization that looks like you, acts like you, has values the way that you do, because business just runs smoother. You can get decisions made rapidly quick because you have no one pushing back. But guess how that ends up? I don't know. Like a Southwest airline fiasco. There was nobody in there saying, wait a second, it doesn't make sense not to invest in all this because shit could hit the fan. Nobody was actually pushing back. That inclusivity and its very infancy like that is what catapults businesses, and that's what's going to build brands that can stand the test of time, that can have stuff blow up, and guess what? They can actually thrive, not just put a Band-Aid on it and get through it. So whenever you're going into these conversations, you got to understand, lady, you're different. You don't think the way most people think, and you have to take this argument down to the dollars. You have to show your board, your CEO, your executives what kind of return they actually get out of putting effort into DEIB. The second step, once you actually have the budget, you have everybody actually believing in DEIB efforts, is you must understand now that you are going through transformation, it's going to take more time to actually get shit done. So think about the first time that you got on a bicycle and you did not just get on that bicycle and take off, on a race. You looked pretty weird doing that. It didn't feel comfortable and it took you longer to get a result. It is the exact same concept in business. You have convinced an entire organization to start doing business in a different way, start collaborating in a different way, and that's going to take some time. So before, remember, everyone in the room looked like us, acted like us, thought like us. We got decisions made in an instant, but we know those weren't always the best decisions for business. Now all of a sudden you're sitting around a room and you're getting questioned. You're getting pushback, so of course decisions are going to take longer, but guess what the beautiful part is? You're actually going to end up with a phenomenal product, a phenomenal initiative that can stand the test of time, but you have to be prepared for those things are going to take longer. So if you want to conquer the world, right, in this year, maybe you need to dial that back so you can get an even better product at the end. And the last step in building inclusivity is you have to understand this takes time to build trust. So every single time that I built inclusive teams, I promise you, it was one of the hardest things I ever did in leadership. And it was because trust. I underestimated how long it took for me to really make my teams feel like they were safe enough to say anything. Even when I am telling them day after day after day, tell me no, tell me my idea is shit, tell me this is never gonna work. And I promise you that will take so much more time than you realize. That's okay. Think about when anyone in your life has challenged you to be more real, to be more raw, to be more vulnerable. That wasn't just a light switch that you turned on. It took you time too. So make sure that you are every single day investing in your team and building that trust to make them feel like they can push back. Okay, so make sure that you have the dollars, you meet people where they're at so you can actually start doing something about that. Plan to know that decisions are going to take longer, but it's well worth it because you're getting a better result at the end. And invest in your team every single day to build trust. Now, this is not something that you're going to implement and do perfectly tomorrow. Just like any change, this is going to take you time. And I want to give you another resource to help you do just that. So go to the place where you listen to podcasts, Apple, Spotify, whatever your platform of choice, and follow the Powerhouse, because I have an episode on just this, and it's how you can be an LGBTQ ally in the workplace and how you can actually start fostering inclusivity. All right, and remember, lady, that you are one powerful, badass executive, and this is what you need to continue to thrive.